I wasn't born in Fresno, but I've lived there for about 8 years. Most of my childhood was growing up in Fresno for about 8 to about last summer, so 2019 summer, I moved in here at Barca. I played for Central California Soccer Alliance as well as California Odyssey for club soccer, and then I played Edison High School. I'd say a lot of my development came from those club programs. A lot of that attests to the quality of coaching there that then pushed me on to the next level here. Ultimately, my goal was to come to Barca, and that started in 2017 here in Arizona.
Do my own thing and I maintain flow like water, so I'm going mainstream.
It's a residency program, kind of like a soccer academy, like a lot of the other big clubs around the world. We're connected to, directly connected to FC Barcelona, one of the biggest clubs in the world, and they send over a couple of their coaches. So I get coached by coaches from prestigious La Masia that have taught players like Messi, Iniesta, Xavi, all these top players. They send coaches here and they scout the United States to bring in players here, and then the best players from here go on to train with the official academy in Barcelona. So we're our own program, and then we play in the Development Academy League, which recently folded in April, which was the highest, and then now we're playing in the MLS Academy League. The club's values have really become ingrained in who I am as a person. It's a really big opportunity, and I love living up to those occasions of when there's pressure and when there's a standard to live up to. I love to strive for that level of excellence. The biggest thing here is that the environment is not like anything else in the United States. Moving away from home at 16 is a very big jump, as many people only move away to go to college at 18, 19 years old, and oftentimes they don't move 10 hours, 12 hours away from home at that as well. So I've grown a lot as a player with the quality of coaches that we have here. I've been given a lot of opportunities to learn in Fresno and in California, but coming here, it's a completely new environment where I've learned so much in my past year here, and I'm continuing to learn a lot going into year 2. I've learned a lot myself as a person, having become more independent, living away from my family and my friends, learning who I am and who I want to become. So it's been definitely a great experience for me coming to a soccer player and the person that I want to be. So I do not have a car. I live on campus in our dorms. So I'd wake up early, probably around 7 a.m. We often do yoga in the mornings just to work on our flexibility and mobility to prepare us for our training sessions. But in the morning we go to a preparatory school, high school. So I'm going to be a senior there. Our teachers are through Zoom, but usually when it's not COVID-19, we have teachers, and we have our own school on campus. So I'd be going to school from about 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and then I'd rest in the afternoon. Then around 5 o'clock, we would have our only training session of the day, where we're outside in the fields for about an hour and a half, and that's probably the best part of the day, in my opinion, just going out to play. And then after that, we have about an hour of strength conditioning, or lifting with our strength coach, and then it's back into the room after having a meal and going to bed. So it's a very packed day. It's not a lot of free time, but I enjoy it that it's a structured day that is based entirely on soccer. We have players from all around the world. So my neighbor is from India. I know we have quite a few players from South America, as well as I know we have 2 or 3 from Bosnia, and I think we have a couple from Senegal as well. So it's a very international academy. The crazy thing is that I've actually been living out of the country before I came to Fresno. So I lived 6 years out of the country, 2 years in Czech Republic as a as a toddler and as an infant, and then I lived 4 years in Zambia, Africa. So my parents were missionaries there, so I've been exposed to those other cultures at a really young age, and I even learned how to play soccer in Africa. So then coming back to the United States when I was 8 in Fresno, and that's where I've lived the most amount of time. But it's always really fun getting to reconnect those other cultures, getting either the customs or the similarities and differences of all of us away from home. And the greatest things that even though players from different parts of the world and parts of the country, we all got to come together and become a really unique brotherhood from living all on campus and going through the exact same things. And everybody feels that same homesickness. Everybody feels those same kind of culture shocks or walls from being away from home. So it's a really great thing that I can bond with people from all over the world over the exact same things. For me, I'm an aspiring professional. I want to really push to that next level. So this place is really gave me a taste of what I want to achieve. The other goalkeeper has been here since his freshman year. He's been here a lot longer than I have, which made it very difficult last year for me to break in and to get minutes at the beginning of the season because I was inexperienced, and he had a lot of time here to understand our style of play. But ultimately, it was just putting my head down and working my butt off, whether it was either on the field or doing extra work outside of it. It was just a matter of how much was I willing to sacrifice and to work to get a starting spot. And by October, November, December, I was beginning to solidify that. This would be my second year. I came last August, and then I went home in March because of COVID. And I stayed at home for about 2.5 to 3 months. And then in June, I came back to train over the summer and help out with some of the summer camps at Barca holds, where I was an RA and also one of the assistant coaches on the staff over the summer. Our league is jam-packed. We have about 30 to 40 games over a 10-month season with multiple college showcases where we get evaluated by college and professional scouts. So we had one in Florida in December last year, and we were planning on having one in San Diego until COVID hit. So it's less really tournaments, but a lot of league play that gets us a lot of exposure with professional and college opportunities. I think a lot of us are here with the exact same goals and aspirations, just to make it to the next level. A lot of just really enjoyable that I enjoy. Have my life based around soccer. I'm not necessarily one to have much. When I was in Fresno, I didn't really have much of a social life because it was about working hard to get here, and it's the same thing here. It's often difficult. I run into we get homesickness. We get some spells being burnt out because of the amount of games that we have, but ultimately it's just like a professional sports environment where you're expected to go out and perform week in and week out. I think the first summer that they opened up, they had about 10,000 players come in about 8 weeks of camps. So it's a very competitive process to get here. The oldest players we have are gap year seniors. So they are 1 year out of high school, but usually most of our graduates are high school graduates that then go on to play at the college or the professional level. And we've had 100% of our graduates go on to get either a college scholarship or a professional contract. So it's a very high success rate for players that make it and graduate from this program. Last summer, I got to train with Fresno FC, our USL team that folded. But that was a really great experience that gave me the taste of what professional atmosphere was like before I came to Barca. So definitely, I think the next step for me is probably going to a Division 1 or Division 2 program and play for a couple of years there, and then hopefully making the jump to the professional level after that. College and a higher level education is really important to me, and if soccer might take it to get that education, that's one of my top priorities. And then outside of once that finishes, or once the chapter is done, hopefully is playing professional soccer wherever it takes me, whether it's in Fresno, if professional soccer returns there, or in the United States or across the world. That's where my aspirations are to go. And we also have, I think, 2 younger goalkeepers here from Fresno, which are their first year here. I think Lucas Fibler as well as Austin Montoya. So they're 2 Fresno guys that are also here, part of the U15 team. So it's kind of a small clump of Fresno players that have come here and now are continuing to chase the same goal and dream that I set out to do.